The Council had made one thing clear. Earth was not ready for war. The aliens looked at humans and saw weakness, small bodies, short lives, too much emotion. They laughed, shook their heads, and moved on. But Earth was watching, and Earth was listening. While the Council ignored the growing danger in the galaxy, humans were planning something in silence. Far away from the bright cities of Earth, hidden inside mountains, under oceans, and even on the dark side of the moon, humans were preparing. Military bases worked day and night. Scientists tested strange new weapons. Engineers built machines faster, smarter, and smaller than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Soldiers trained with quiet focus, their eyes cold but full of purpose. In one underground lab, a human general stood beside a glowing table. A map of space floated in the air. Red dots showed enemy movement. Blue dots were human ships, small in number but spread out like a net. A young officer entered the room. "Sir, new drone units are ready. Stealth tech is working perfectly," she said. The general nodded. "Good. We won't win with size. We'll win with surprise. The enemy, still a mystery to most of the galaxy, had already destroyed several powerful alien worlds. Their weapons were massive. Their ships looked alive. And they gave no warning before attack. The Council tried to stop them, but failed each time. Still, they refused to ask Earth for help. Pride kept them blind. But humans had seen enough war in their own past to understand what was coming. This was not about honor or strength. This was survival. And for humans, survival had always meant adaptation. On Mars, training fields were full of new soldiers. Some came from farms, some from cities, but all carried the same fire in their eyes. They trained not just with weapons, but with alien tech. They learned enemy patterns, weak points, and how to fight in places without gravity or air. Their commanders taught them, think faster, not harder. Be unexpected. Be everywhere and nowhere. In orbit around Saturn, a secret project was almost ready. A human scientist named Dr. Lena Roy stood inside a cold metal lab. Before her stood a robot, not large, not heavy, but smart. It could move without sound, learn from enemies, and even fake signals to confuse alien sensors. "This will change the battlefield," she said, recording her logs. "They won't see us coming. They won't know what hit them." Meanwhile, deep in the asteroid belt, small ships practiced new maneuvers. They darted between rocks like fish in water. These ships didn't carry big guns, but they carried data, stealth bombs, and EMP bursts. Their job was not to destroy the enemy, but to blind them, confuse them, and let the real weapons do the rest. In a hidden control room, under Antarctica, leaders from across Earth sat at a long table. No politics here, no borders. Only one goal: protect humanity. A large screen showed enemy movements across the galaxy. "We need to be ready before they reach us," one leader said. "They won't stop at alien worlds. Earth is next." The others nodded. "Let them come," another replied. "We've been underestimated before. That's always our strength." Back on the moon, a soldier named Ray checked his armor. It wasn't shiny or heavy, but it was light, strong, and full of tech. "They think we're weak," he told his teammate, a quiet sniper named Mira. "They're right," Mira said with a small smile. "But we're also smart and angry. That's a bad mix for them." They both looked out a window at Earth, shining blue and quiet in the distance. "We're not fighting for power," Ray said. "We're fighting for that." Mira nodded. "Then let's make sure it survives." Somewhere near the edge of the solar system, a human probe spotted something strange, an alien ship, silent and dark, watching. But when it tried to scan the probe, it failed. The probe vanished. Not destroyed, just gone. The enemy didn't know where it went. That was the point. The probe had actually jumped into a secret base hidden behind Neptune. There, A human AI collected the data, ran simulations, and sent silent messages back to Earth. Within minutes, humans knew the shape, energy, and weak spots of the enemy ship. Within hours, they had already designed a plan to deal with it. The Council, still sitting in their tall glass towers, had no idea what humans were doing. Some even believed Earth had given up. But slowly, rumors began to spread. Alien traders spoke of strange lights near Earth's space. A few Council spies disappeared near human zones. One alien ship tried to scan a human satellite, and their system shut down for 3 days. Fear began to creep into the Council chambers. Perhaps we were wrong, said one member. Perhaps humans are not as weak as we thought. But the others shook their heads. They are clever, maybe, said one proud alien, but cleverness will not win this war. They were wrong. On Earth, a quiet message went out to every human base. Stand ready, Phase 1 complete. Across the planet, soldiers stood straighter. Scientists worked faster, and ships came online. The enemy would come. And when they did, they would find a different kind of enemy waiting. Not the weak humans they had heard about, not the laughing Council, but something they had never seen before. Something dangerous, something prepared. They thought we were weak. The Council looked at humans and laughed. Small bodies, short lives, too emotional. Not fit for war, they said. So they ignored us. But Earth was not sleeping. Earth was watching. And Earth was preparing. While alien worlds trusted their size and power, humans moved in silence, in secret bases, under oceans, inside mountains, on the dark side of the moon. We trained, we built, we planned. Soldiers ran drills in the dust of Mars. No medals, no noise, just quiet steps and sharp eyes. Scientists tested strange machines, small, smart, deadly. Win with surprise, said the general, not with strength. In deep space, our ships danced between asteroids. They didn't carry big guns. They carried ideas, stealth, speed, confusion. A robot stood in a cold lab around Saturn, not large, but fast. It could vanish from enemy eyes and strike before they even knew it was there. In Antarctica, leaders met. No countries, no flags, just humans. One voice said, "They are coming." Another said, "Let them." Ray, a soldier on the moon, checked his armor. Light, simple, strong. "They think we're weak," he said. Mira, the sniper, smiled. "We are," she said. "But we're smart and angry. That's a dangerous mix." Above Neptune, a probe spotted something strange. An enemy ship, silent, watching. It tried to scan us and failed. The probe disappeared. Not destroyed, just gone. Back on Earth, the data was already in our hands. We saw everything. We learned fast, faster than they ever expected. The Council still laughed, still proud, still blind. But in shadows, whispers began. Alien traders spoke of lights near Earth, ships that moved like ghosts, spies who vanished. One Council member said, "Maybe we were wrong." The others said, "No, humans are clever, not strong. They were wrong, very wrong." And then, one quiet message was sent. Stand ready. Phase 1 complete. Across Earth, power rose. Ships came online. Soldiers took position. The enemy was coming, but they wouldn't find the weak species they expected. They would find something else, something human. The galaxy was quiet, too quiet. Far from Earth, near the edge of Council space, a small alien planet stopped sending messages. At first, the Council thought it was a broken signal. Then another planet went silent. Then a third. No calls, no data, no survivors. The Council became nervous. They sent ships to check. The ships didn't return. The Council called a secret meeting. Tall aliens from many worlds sat around a wide silver table. Their faces were serious now. No more laughter about humans, at least for now. One alien leader stood up. His skin was like stone. "Something is out there," he said. "Something powerful. It does not speak. It does not show mercy. We need to prepare." But not everyone agreed. A green-skinned alien with sharp eyes waved his hand. "Maybe these planets just had accidents. Maybe it's pirates. This is no reason to panic." The room filled with noise. Some aliens shouted. Others stayed silent. In the end, they chose to wait. That was a mistake. Far away, deep in cold space, a strange ship moved slowly. It was massive, long like a snake, with armor that looked like black bone. No lights, no signal, nothing living inside, but it moved with purpose. It didn't fire weapons right away. Instead, it circled a planet, blocked its sun, and waited. Then it released small drones, tiny things with sharp arms and red eyes. They entered the planet's systems, shut down its power, and turned off its defenses. Within hours, the planet was dead. Every city dark, every voice silent. Back on Earth, humans had started noticing something strange. Their deep space scanners, usually quiet, had picked up signals that didn't match any known ship. A group of scientists in a hidden base studied the patterns. "This isn't natural," one of them said. "Something is watching, something cold." Earth's leaders asked the Council for answers. The reply was short. "Do not worry, this is not your concern." But Earth's leaders were not fools. They had seen enough history to know that silence often comes before war, so they started preparing, just in case. Human satellites were moved into new orbits. Spy probes were launched into deep space. Military bases increased their alert levels. Nobody told the public. The news stayed quiet. But underground, inside bunkers and labs, the truth was spreading. Something bad was coming. A young soldier named Mia stood at a training field watching a ship land. She had joined Earth's Defense Force only 6 months ago, but things were moving fast. "Is it true?" she asked her commander. "Are aliens disappearing?" The commander nodded. "Yes. Whole planets. Gone. And we don't know why." Mia looked up at the stars. They used to feel beautiful. Now they felt dangerous. In a deep lab under the sea, a human AI called Orion was running simulations. It took data from old council records and mixed it with the new signals. The results were not good. "Unknown enemy has 89% chance of reaching Earth within the year," Orion said. "Recommend preparation of all planetary defense systems." The message was sent in secret to Earth's top leaders. Most of them already knew, but the council still did not listen. "Earth is overreacting," one alien leader said. "They are weak. They fear shadows." Another alien added, "Let the humans worry. We will handle it if the threat is real." The humans disagreed, but they said nothing. Not yet. One night, a council patrol ship found something near an empty world. It was a ship, black, silent, huge. The patrol sent a message. "Strange ship detected. We are approaching." That was the last thing they said. The ship vanished, the patrol vanished, and the planet went dark. The council sent more ships. They found nothing, just empty space and cold silence. Some aliens began to whisper, "Is this war? Who is the enemy? Where do they come from?" No one had answers. The enemy never spoke, never sent a warning, never took prisoners. Only silence. Meanwhile, humans were watching all of this. On secret screens in hidden rooms, they tracked the movement of the silent threat. A human general looked at the data. "They're testing us," he said. "They're watching how we respond, and the council is too proud to admit the truth." In space, a small human probe moved close to one of the last destroyed planets. It sent pictures back to Earth, cities frozen, Machines turned to dust, strange burn marks in the sky. But no bodies, no survivors. Only one word appeared again and again in the broken systems of the planet. Oblivion. Was that the enemy's name? Or just a warning? No one knew. But humans were not waiting for the answer. Ships were being built. Soldiers trained in zero gravity. Scientists studied enemy tech. Earth had been underestimated before, but humans had a secret weapon the Council forgot. Fear taught them to prepare. Pain taught them to survive. And war had always been part of their history. The silent threat was real, and soon it would no longer be silent. Something prepared. The galaxy still saw humans as weak. The Council laughed behind closed doors. They thought Earth had no real power. No one believed that humans could survive a true war, especially one against a force that made entire planets vanish without warning. But Earth was not sleeping. It was preparing. In hidden places across the world, humans were training, building, and planning. Quietly, carefully. Underground bases buzzed with activity. Scientists worked day and night, studying alien tech, decoding enemy signals, and creating weapons the world had never seen before. On Mars, soldiers ran through cold, red dust in full gear. Their suits were lighter now, with new armor that could absorb heat, lasers, and radiation. They trained in zero gravity, in darkness, and even under simulated alien conditions. "We don't know who or what is coming," their commander said, "but when it comes, we will be ready." In a deep lab under the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Lena Roy tested a strange machine. It looked small, only the size of a box, but inside, it held one of humanity's newest secrets. A pulse wave generator. When activated, it could disable electronics across miles. Alien drones, ships, and sensors would shut down completely. "This is our edge," Lena whispered. "This is how we fight something bigger than us." High above Earth, in a silent space station, General Marcus stared out at the stars. His face was calm, but his mind raced. He had read every report. Whole planets had gone dark. Council fleets destroyed. And still, no one knew the enemy's name, their face, or their goal. Earth's leaders met in secret. No countries, no borders, just humans. They sat around a round table watching a large screen as images showed enemy movements, destroyed worlds, and strange symbols left behind. "They're coming closer," one said. "They're testing us," said another. "We must not panic, but we must not wait." All around Earth, preparations continued. Drones flew over oceans, carrying sensors to track even the smallest signal in space. Satellites shifted into new positions. Factories built new types of ships, not large and heavy like Council cruisers, but fast, quiet, and deadly. Young soldiers signed up in huge numbers. They came from farms, cities, islands, and deserts. No one forced them. They came because they knew something was wrong. They came because humanity had always risen during hard times. One of them was a boy named Terran, only 18. He had lost his brother on a trade ship near the edge of human space. The ship never returned. "They called us weak," Terran said during training. "Let's show them what weak can do." In the asteroid belt, human scouts tested a new kind of ship. Small, with no crew. Fully AI controlled. These ships could move through tight spaces, hide behind rocks, and attack without warning. A fleet of them could tear apart an enemy ship before it could react. Still, the Council ignored Earth. They laughed at the news of humans building fleets and training armies. "They are children," said one Council member. "They are just afraid. They don't understand real war." But fear had always been part of humanity's strength. Fear made them prepare. Fear made them learn. In a cold base near the moon, Commander Ray stood with his team. Their armor was black, light, and nearly invisible at night. Each one carried a special chip in their helmet that showed enemy heat, movement, and energy. "They think we're weak," Ray said. "Good. That's the plan. At the same time, far from Earth, a human probe spotted something moving in the dark. It was not large, it was not fast, but it was strange. It gave off no signal. It had no known shape, just shadows and sharp angles. The probe didn't move. It simply watched, and something watched it back. When the probe returned, Earth's AIs began decoding the images. There were symbols on the strange ship, symbols that matched what had been found on destroyed planets. But this time, something was different. The enemy ship didn't attack the probe. It let it leave. Why? That was the question. Back on Earth, Orion, the main defense AI, gave a report. Unknown enemy is studying human technology. Approach is slow, not random, purposeful. The leaders looked at each other. They're not just killing, one said. They're learning. That night, a quiet message was sent through the Earth Defense Network. It was only 5 words. Phase 1, complete. Stand ready. All over Earth and the solar system, lights turned green. Weapons activated, ships locked in place, soldiers held their breath. They didn't know when the enemy would come, or how, but now they were ready. And for the first time, Earth wasn't the one afraid. It was the enemy who should be. For weeks, Earth watched the stars. The silent threat was moving closer, slowly, patiently, like a hunter. But Earth was not an easy target anymore. Across every station, base, and outpost, humans stood ready. The enemy thought they would find fear. Instead, they would find resistance. The first sign came near Jupiter. A human scout ship, small, fast, and unmanned, picked up strange readings. Cold energy, a strange pulse. Then, silence. Earth's Deep Space Command saw the alert. Commander, Reyes narrowed his eyes. "It's starting," he said. 2 hours later, they saw it. A black ship, larger than any Earth vessel, moved into the outer system. It made no sound. It sent no message. It simply existed, like a shadow across the stars. Its shape changed as it flew, like it wasn't made of normal matter. Earth sent a message. "Identify yourself." No answer. They tried again. "You are entering human space. Do you come in peace?" Still silence. Then, without warning, a human satellite near Saturn was destroyed. No explosion, no beam, just gone. Like it had never been there at all. Earth's defense system turned red. The time for waiting was over. The Council, watching from a distance, still refused to act. "Let the humans handle it," one member said. "If they survive, we'll deal with the enemy later." But deep down they were afraid. Back in Earth's command center, General Marcus gave the order. "Engage defensive protocol. Project Ghostfire. Go live." Across the solar system, human stealth ships powered up. They didn't fly in straight lines. They moved like whispers, through asteroid fields, behind moons, under radiation belts. Their weapons weren't just powerful, they were smart. Designed to confuse enemy systems and shut them down without a fight. The first clash happened near Neptune. A group of 3 enemy ships moved into position. They were shaped like knives, glowing faintly with dark energy. Before they could attack, 6 human ghost ships surrounded them. No warning. No mercy. With a burst of silent light, the human ships released a new kind of weapon. Gravity warpers. The enemy ships twisted, slowed, and broke apart, pulled in different directions. 2 were destroyed. 1 escaped, damaged. It was the first victory for Earth, but it was only the beginning. Back on the moon, Soldier Mia stood inside a drop pod. Her mission: enter enemy wreckage, gather data, and return alive. "Remember," her commander said, "don't try to fight alone. We are not stronger, but we are smarter. We are many." Mia dropped into space, her pod speeding toward the shattered enemy ship near Neptune. Inside the wreck, she found strange symbols. Black liquid floated in zero gravity. No crew, no air. But something moved. A shape. A shadow. Then it was gone. She grabbed what she could and launched back toward the moon. The data changed everything. Scientists on Earth studied it for hours. What they found was shocking. The enemy wasn't using machines the way humans did. The ships were alive. Half tech, half creature. Grown, not built. They fed on energy. They feared light. That was the key. "We need to blind them," said Dr. Lena. "Light is our weapon now." New orders were sent across the system. Human ships were fitted with pulse lights. Stations began using solar flares as traps. Even the smallest drones carried flash charges. The next time the enemy came, Earth was ready. Near Mars, 3 black ships appeared. Within seconds, Earth's defenses activated. Mirrors in orbit bounced sunlight at full power. The enemy ships twisted and tried to hide, but the light burned through their shadows. Human fighters attacked from behind, hitting weak points the scientists had found just hours earlier. One enemy ship exploded, another fled, one remained. It released a strange pulse, dark energy that cut off human communication. Ships fell silent. Chaos. For a moment it looked like Earth would lose. Then, a backup AI called Athena came online. She wasn't connected to the normal systems. She had been hidden for this exact moment. In 10 seconds, she rerouted the network. In 30 seconds, she reconnected every ship. In 60 seconds, the last enemy ship was destroyed. Earth had won again. But everyone knew. This wasn't the end. It was just the first contact. The enemy now knew Earth could fight back. That made Earth a threat. General Marcus stood at the command table. He looked at the star map. Red dots showed where the enemy had been seen. Blue lights showed Earth's fleet. "They'll send more," he said. Dr. Lena nodded. "Yes, bigger, smarter." Mia, watching from the moon, held her rifle. "Let them come," she whispered. "We've met them now. We've survived." The Council, finally alarmed, sent a message to Earth, requesting update. "Do you need assistance?" Earth replied with one simple sentence. "No. This is our fight." And somewhere, far in the darkness, the enemy began to shift. Earth had become more than prey. It had become a problem, and that was the most dangerous thing a human could be. The enemy had attacked. Earth had survived. But now, it was time to strike back. For months, humans had been defending their home, winning small battles, gathering data, learning how the enemy worked. They discovered weaknesses. Light hurt them. Speed confused them. And most of all, they didn't expect humans to fight back. That was the enemy's mistake. In a base deep under Antarctica, Earth's leaders met in secret. General Marcus stood at the center of the room. "We've studied them. We've tested them. Now it's time to act." A map lit up on the table. Red points showed where the enemy ships had come from. One cluster repeated, far beyond Pluto, near a strange, dark region of space. "We think it's a gate," said Dr. Lena. "A doorway, a place where their ships come through." "Then we close it," said Marcus. Operation Star Hammer was launched. For the first time in history, humanity was sending an attack fleet beyond the edge of the solar system, not to defend, but to destroy. The fleet was made of fast ships, stealth drones, and the newest human invention, the Solaris bomb, a weapon built using enemy tech and human science. It didn't explode with fire. It exploded with light, bright enough to blind sensors, hot enough to melt armor, and powerful enough to tear open anything the enemy sent through their gate. Soldiers like Mia volunteered first. "We've been hunted," she said. "Now we hunt them." Taryn was there too, older and stronger now. His brother had been lost in the early days. "For my family," he whispered, and for every planet they silenced. The fleet moved in silence, past Neptune, past Pluto, into the dark beyond. Back on Earth, people watched the stars, praying, hoping, knowing that their future depended on the people who had gone to fight in the coldest part of space. Then, contact. The fleet found the gate. It was massive, floating. In space like a giant ring, spinning slowly, black metal, red lights. Around it floated strange enemy ships, guarding it like wolves guarding a den. "We go now," said Marcus, his voice calm. "No retreat!" The battle began. Human ships moved fast, weaving between enemy fire. Drones swarmed the gate, sending blinding flashes and EMP blasts. Enemy ships responded quickly. They fired black energy beams, trying to trap and crush the human fleet. But Earth had learned. The first wave of Solaris bombs exploded. Light filled space. The enemy screamed, not with sound, but with waves of energy so strong they shook the fleet's systems. One enemy cruiser broke apart. Another ran into the gate and exploded, but more kept coming. Mia's ship dodged 2 blasts, fired a torpedo, and flew under the wreckage of a falling enemy vessel. "Push forward!" she shouted. Terran, flying a drone wing, sent out a signal to distract the enemy. "Come on," he said. "Follow me." They did, straight into a trap. Terran's team dropped 2 light mines behind him. As the enemy ships passed, the mines detonated, burning them from the inside out. The way was clear. The gate was exposed. "This is it," Marcus said. "Fire the core." The final Solaris bomb, the biggest one, was aimed straight at the gate's center. It launched like a shooting star. Enemy ships rushed to stop it, but they were too late. The bomb hit. The explosion was silent, but so bright it turned space white for a few seconds. The gate cracked, then shattered. Pieces of alien metal spun away into darkness. Enemy ships froze. Without the gate, they had no way back, no way to bring reinforcements. They were stranded, alone. Human ships circled them. One by one, the enemy ships were destroyed. No mercy, no escape. It was Earth's victory. Back home, the skies lit up with signals from the fleet. Mission complete. Gate destroyed. "We are coming home." People cheered across every city. Bells rang, lights flashed. For the first time in months, Earth was not afraid. The council watched in silence. They had called humans weak. Now they called them dangerous. In a secret council meeting, one alien leader stood and said, "We mocked them. We doubted them. We were wrong." Another replied, "They are not just survivors, they are warriors." Back on Earth, General Marcus looked at the stars. "They'll come again," he said. Dr. Lena nodded. "Yes, but next time they'll remember who we are." Mia stood with Terran, watching the sun rise over the Earth. "We fought back." She said, "We showed them," Terran replied. And in the silence of space, what was left of the enemy fleet drifted, broken, lost and afraid, because now they knew the truth. Humanity doesn't run. Humanity doesn't break. Humanity fight. The gate was gone. The enemy was broken. But the war was not over. The Council sent messages to Earth. They wanted peace now. They wanted meetings, talks, promises. After months of silence, they were finally ready to listen. But Earth didn't answer. Not yet. Because in the dark, far beyond where human eyes could see, something else was moving. Bigger than any ship, older than any world. The true enemy had not shown itself until now. The gate Earth had destroyed was only one of many, and behind them, something was waking up. On the far edge of the galaxy, a deep signal pulsed across space. Not a message, a call. The enemy wasn't just a race or a fleet, it was a hive. a force built to consume light, life, and sound. For centuries, it had been sleeping. Humanity had made it wake up. Back on Earth, Dr. Lena stood before a large screen. "We found the source," she said, pointing to a strange red zone near the galactic core. "This is where it comes from. This is their origin." General Marcus crossed his arms. "We've been fighting shadows," he said. "Now we see the hand that throws them." In space, human scouts sent back images. A massive structure, larger than a moon. Alive. Breathing. Growing. It looked like a nest or a heart. Ships were forming around it, more than Earth had ever seen, and they were coming. Earth's leaders gathered again. "We have two choices," Marcus said. "We wait. For them. Or we end this now." The room went quiet. Then Mia stood up. "We finish it," she said. "For every life lost. For every world they took." Terran nodded. "Let's show them what humanity really is." Operation Dawnfall began. This time, humans weren't just sending ships. They were sending a message. Earth was not afraid anymore. The fleet left in silence, bigger than ever before. Carriers, drones, light fighters, Solaris bombers, AI warships. Every lesson learned, every weapon tested, now ready for one final fight. As the human fleet approached the enemy core, the stars seemed to fade. The enemy's nest pulsed with dark power. Ships swarmed like insects, thousands of them. The final battle had begun. Enemy vessels attacked fast and hard. They changed shape in mid-air. They moved like smoke and fire, but human ships held formation. Light blasts lit up the black. Warped shields took the hits, and AI-guided weapons found weak spots again and again. Still, it wasn't easy. Human ships began to fall. One exploded near the edge, another was torn apart by enemy claws, but they kept going. Inside the enemy core, strange energy pulsed. It was building something, a final weapon, a world killer. Mia led a squad inside. We hit the core. No matter what, they flew into the structure's heart. Inside, it was like flying through a living storm, walls pulsing, lights flickering, screams echoing without sound. Terran flew beside her. "Straight ahead," he said. "That light, that's it." Behind them, enemy drones chased. One hit Terran's wing. He spun, lost control, but kept firing. "Go, Mia!" he shouted. "End it!" Mia flew into the core's center. The pulse. Wave hit her ship. Systems failed. Lights died. But she had one weapon left, a final Solaris core, built for one purpose. She launched it. Time slowed. The light exploded. The core shattered. The enemy screamed all across the battlefield. Enemy ships froze. Then they began to break apart, cracking, melting, dying. Earth had won. The heart of the enemy was gone. Mia's ship didn't return. Terran was found later, injured, but alive. He never forgot her last words. "Let them remember us, back." On Earth, the stars were calm again. The Council sent another message. "This time with respect, not pride. We wish to honor Earth. Will you take a seat on the Council?" Earth replied simply, "We don't want a seat. We want peace." The war was over, but something had changed forever. The galaxy no longer saw humans as weak. The Council no longer laughed. Even the enemy, in its final moments, had feared them. Because humanity had proven the greatest truth of all. They may be smaller, they may be younger, but when pushed, humanity rises. When broken, they rebuild. When hunted, they fight. And when war comes, humanity stands.